Once again, Ron being an L host. We're here a little late, but we're here nonetheless. So we all know we had some good games last night. Anybody want to speak on it? Let's start out east. Keegan, did you check out the game last night?
On the oh
The Miami Atlanta. How you feel about that one?
Miami, that one surprised me. I thought Jimmy
Mi-
Butler was going to show up a little bit more than that, but really it's Bam Adebayo's fault.
I mean, you see the title though. Did Miami saw it? Is that true or false?
I mean, that's a matchup built for them to win, and maybe Ron got in my head a little bit. I should have believed in Trae Young a little bit more, but I don't know, that matchup I thought would have been a lot better. Obviously, you add DeJounte Murray last offseason, so it's not a one-for-one matchup from last year's playoffs. But, I mean, they showed that they could lock down Trae Young before and rattle him, but clearly adding DeJounte and Clint Capella actually showing up like he's on the Rockets helps a lot.
Yeah. What about you, Tyson?
Man, yeah, we all talked about Bam's struggles last night. That was crazy. How Capella dominated him on the glass. I thought that was the game. I didn't think Trey was exceptional. He played okay. He had a decent game. What was he? 1 for 8 from 3, something like that. Other than that, I just thought the offensive rebounding and that was the game pretty much. That was the game in a nutshell. Just Bam getting dominated on the glass.
You checked it out?
I ain't even watched that game. I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't watched that game, man.
What's your thoughts on it though? I'm sure you still got thoughts on it.
Yeah, I got thoughts on where Dub at and Gabe. This old what we just talking about, Coach Spo and Steve Kerr the other day. Wasn't that us?
Yeah.
And people were trying to convince me Coach Spo was better than Steve Kerr. And I don't agree. Look at this. Why ain't the aura rubbing off?
Who said Spo was better than
Dub?
Oh, okay. Never mind. No comment.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, is Bam Adebayo a top 5 big man in the NBA?
No.
Who's over him?
I won't say top 5. I think he's still a good big man. I just thought for some reason.
Mars knows many over him. Look.
I just thought Capella just
Okay, when I say big, centers, not
Center.
power forwards, just center. Is he a top 5 center in the NBA?
No, center
He
no.
shouldn't be a center.
Needs to play the 4. He definitely
But how
needs to
many
play
are
the
better than him?
Okay.
Can we list off the better centers? Or is the list too long?
Jokic, Embiid, AD, Sabonis.
I got DeAndre Ayton too.
Oh my God.
I personally think DeAndre Ayton's better.
Man, that's
I do
one
not
game. He
agree.
got exposed that one game, but I'm not gonna say DeAndre Ayton is better.
Better than Bam?
I
Oh,
do not
yeah.
agree with that.
That's
The reason why I'm saying that DeAndre Ayton's better is because I think as a number 1 option, or even a number 2 option, I think he can score better than Bam. He rebounds better than Bam. He's bigger than Bam. We're talking about as a center. We're not just talking about as a player. I'm talking about as my center. He rebounds better than Bam. On top of that, his defense, yes, Bam's better on defense, but Ayton's, I think the gap is further on offense than it is on
Slow
defense.
down.
Y'all got Ayton being a slouch on the defensive end?
I don't
know, but he's not.
I just got Bam over DeAndre Ayton, but
I want Ayton, like, if I had to choose a center to start to build around, I'd prefer to build around Ayton than build around Bam.
I think you fail either way. I don't know if you build around DeAndre Ayton, you need like 3 players better than him to have success.
I'm telling you guys, we haven't even seen Ayton scratch his surface.
I say
he
2.
Can't
I say
because
2.
he's playing with Chris Paul, he's playing with Devin Booker, he's playing with
what you mean? Playing with Chris Paul to be his dream.
Yeah, but at the same time, Chris Paul pounds the ball. Chris Paul he's a good point guard, but he pounds the ball. If he was playing with somebody like Tyrese Halliburton, for instance, do the damn, and he almost averaged 20 this year. But if he switched roles with Miles Turner, DeAndre Ayton would be 26 a night. I
I
promise you.
don't know about that. That's
What about
I
this?
said
That's
I
elite.
said this a while ago,
Elite,
and
bro.
they clipped it, whatever. I said Ayton on a different team would be, number 2 option, number 1 option would be. I don't think that might not be a winning team per se, but he would put up great numbers. He would put up, Chris Bosh numbers. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And y'all poo-pooed it, but I think that's fact. So
Is
I don't
Brook
know.
is Brook
Yo,
is
y'all
Brook
in the
Lopez
chat
better
talking
than
about him
Bam?
chatting and that, and what's Ron talking about? Y'all seen what happened when Mikal Bridges left? He left from the Suns, got away from
Definitely.
Chris Paul's old dribbling ass, got away from Devin Booker's shooting ass, and what did he do? Started averaging 27 immediately. So
No,
what do you think is going to happen if DeAndre Ayton goes to a team where he can shoot 19 shots a game, 18 shots, 17? He go average 26. On top, we have yet to even see DeAndre Ayton get in his bag. He went number 1 overall for a reason. I promise you, DeAndre Ayton's like that.
Is
I
Brook
agree.
Lopez
I
better
agree.
than Bam though? Chat, what y'all think?
I think
What y'all
you
think,
can make
chat?
the argument. I think you can make the argument.
As a center, I'll say I'll take Brook. Just as a center.
I think that's valid because Brook Lopez is a huge human being. And I think the fact that Brook Lopez has just become more mobile as he's got older, which is weird. But I think that adds to defensively, he's a much better rim protector. He can still play high in the pick and roll. And obviously he stretches the defense. I think you could argue that Brook Lopez is better than Bam. It depends on whether or not you value the versatility of Bam or not.
In that case, could you make the argument for Miles Turner?
No. Miles Turner is just Brook Lopez, but worse at everything.
You take Miles Turner?
No, I wanted to see how far Mars would go. Just because of, he has a fair point. It's just Brook Lopez, but a lot worse. But I think also Brook does benefit from playing next to Giannis.
100%.
Of course.
Let me ask y'all this. Judging by last night, let's get off of Bam. Let's get on his running mate. Are we on the verge of seeing the term playoff Jimmy debunked? Can the playoff Jimmy myth be debunked tomorrow night?
I do think it is kind of mythical. Like for every 2022 Jimmy Butler, there's a 2021 Jimmy Butler.
Mm-hmm.
For every 2020 Jimmy Butler, there's a 2018 Jimmy Butler. But every time he doesn't play up to superstar levels in the playoffs, it just gets brushed under the rug. It doesn't really matter. But every time he plays to that level, is Jimmy Butler steps up in the playoffs. It's like, no, he's not a superstar caliber player, so he's not going to be consistently great in the playoffs. And every time he is great, you act like that's who he is, and he's just preparing for the playoffs in the regular season. And every time he's below par is, or whatever, he's not a superstar anyway. So he's just in a win-win situation. I just think he's a very good player who sometimes plays much better in the playoffs and sometimes doesn't. And that's just what happens when you're not one of the best players in the world.
Is there anybody up here that's buying into the playoff Jimmy myth?
I'm not knocking Jimmy. Like you said, it's low expectations kind of for Jimmy. We all surprised when he has those breakout performances. It's not like we expect that from Jimmy Butler. So he gets big kudos for those moments. When other, bona fide stars, you expect that. So I agree with Mars on that take. But just from last game, I don't think Jimmy Butler played horrible, but they gave up 22 offensive rebounds, bro. You're not going to win a game when you give up 22 offensive rebounds. So to me, that I don't think they played horrible. Like Lowry stepped up, Jimmy played okay. It was just that was the sole factor in them losing that game.
I'm gonna say it to the day I croak. Rebounding is the most important part of the game.
I don't think that was a crazy take when you said it. I don't like how people, if you don't get rebounds, no matter how many times you stop them from scoring, they're just going to get rebounds, and you're going to give up 200 points a game. And no matter how many times you score, them getting offensive rebounds is going to make you lose the game. So I think that's a very valid opinion to say that rebounding is the most important part of the game. But, well.
Even on the flip side, Morris, if you get more offensive rebounds, you get more possessions. You get more possessions, you get more opportunities to score. On top of that, when you get an offensive rebound, usually it happens to be right under the hoop. That's an easy putback. So, rebound is definitely huge. I wouldn't say it's the most important, but it's very high on my list.
What's more important?
The possession.
I think defense is. And I mean,
But
part of defense
rebounding is part of defense.
It is, but it isn't though. You know, it is, but you know.
It is. You got to finish the possession.
Because you can get as many stops as you want. If you can't get a rebound,
you can't get the
you're not getting
rebound.
stops because they're just getting the ball back, like you said.
So if rebounds part of defense, then basically defense is part of rebounding, and that means that defense is the most important as well.
But there's rebounding on the other side, though. Rebounding is on both sides.
That's what I'm saying. I would kind of consider rebounding, like in football, I consider rebounding to be like special teams.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be able to.
I wouldn't know if that's accurate or not. So
okay, well, I'm just saying because you got to, like for instance on offense, if you don't score but you get close enough, you call your kicking unit out there. You know what I'm saying? They take care of it. That's kind of sealing the offensive possession, which is like maybe an offensive rebound if you miss. Then on the defensive end, if you make 3 good stops and now your punt team, that's your special teams. Now you got to finish the defense with securing the board so that we can get the ball back and do our thing. So I kind of look at it that way.
I can see where you're going with that.
Yeah. Let me see.
It's a fair comparison. It's a little more
Joker.
I have no idea if that's fair or not. So I'm just gonna take it.
It's fair.
Yo, to bring everything back though, like what's Miami's issue? I don't understand why Spo is so tied into playing Bam at the 5.
Who else are they gonna play? Right. Cody Zeller.
Yeah.
No, it's not about who else they're going to play. But that's the problem. Why don't you have a center on your roster? Why is there
Why don't you got a real center?
I do agree with that. I don't like how their roster's constructed. I think
they're going into this offseason because they're not going to win the finals. They're going to have a lot of big questions to try to figure out. I wouldn't be surprised if Bam's on the trade block.
Because they don't got no money.
You know where Bam's going though, right?
No, there we go.
Yeah.
So Jaylen Brown and Bam are going to Sacramento.
Well, Jalen's not coming, but Bam's gonna come get with his Kentucky brothers. Come play the 4 for us. Then he don't got to worry about getting out rebounded because DeMontis got that.
I think
it's just like we keep waiting for Bam Adebayo's aggression to be up and to be this dominant scorer, and it's at this point, do we just accept that he's just not going to be this dominant force on the offensive side of the ball and not be aggressive?
Yeah,
I've accepted that.
I agree with that. That's what I was going to say.
It's the same thing I feel with DeAndre Ayton. He's just not going to be aggressive. I understand the Suns don't ask him to be that, and they haven't. But there's a part of me that thinks that it's the same thing of he's just not that aggressive of a ball player on the offensive side of the ball. He's not going to dominate the glass on the offensive side of the ball. He's not going to ask for post touches. Like, it's just not in their DNA. They don't got the aura for it.
Facts. I do agree.
I disagree on Ayton. I just think that offense is not predicated on him getting post touches. So I would have to see if he goes to another team and that happens, then I would have an issue with it. But right now, I can't really say that on Ayton.
I mean, what could Ayton be realistically on a contending team? Like, at his best, is he the second option, third option? Definitely not first.
Definitely not first. No, I mean, in this game today, you're gonna need a perimeter player to dominate. I think, because he doesn't have obviously like Embiid game where he can dominate the game like that. But
what about Giannis? He's not a perimeter player.
Well, yeah, Giannis too. But he doesn't, get the ball and go to the hoop. But Giannis' game starts from the perimeter at times.
Yeah.
So that's different.
Giannis start from the top a lot.
Yeah, he start from the top. He can get the ball and go. Ayton obviously is not that dude, but as far as post touches, he can get more and up his scoring for sure. But yeah, he's gonna need a better. He's a number 2, not a number 1. For sure.
Yeah, and Giannis he a rare breed to do what he be doing for real. It ain't.
I just with Ayton though, like. You could say that for a lot of NBA players. I understand he was the first overall pick, but when you put him into a position where he's going to be more of a focal point, of course he's going to put up better statistical numbers. I think it's rare occasions when you see maybe you think it could be like a Mikal Bridges situation, but I think Mikal clearly has way more potential than Ayton right now. Easily. To start a team, I'd much rather have Mikal.
Did you say that before the trade or?
Yeah.
I liked Mikal a lot coming out. I really did coming out of Villanova. And I was never high on Ayton. I was never high on Ayton.
I honestly didn't think Bridges was 25, 26 points a game. I thought he was a 3 and D. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think he had
that's elite,
that big of a bag to get 26 on a night, or average that type of number. So,
I definitely didn't see that coming.
Yeah. So, but I think Ayton has it in him, but
What you
said, we'll
think
see.
his
Dictate that.
What you think he could average, like in his top peak position? What 20? What in how many rebounds?
Who are you talking about?
Ayton.
Ayton can definitely be, I think, a 23 and 10 guy.
I'll give him that 22, 23. Yeah. 26 is elite. Ron said 20. That's like
on a horrible team,
maybe
26, but on a decent team, 23 and 10, I think is where he could be at.
On what effect? I don't think he could get 26.
Y'all know he averages 19 right now, right?
Yeah.
So you think on another team he averages 19 with Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges / Kevin Durant. So what do you think he averages?
What you mean? He could have averaged. He could have averaged more than 19 on that team. It's Devin Booker. You brought up all them other players wasn't just overly offensive on the team like that. Chris Paul, he only averaged 14 points, right?
Yeah.
I think so,
what Mikal Bridges average?
I think he was 17 in Phoenix.
Right. So bam, he could have grabbed a couple more points up out of there, and they wasn't just a top elite team to where he was sitting out and they was blowing teams out and all that. He could have grabbed a couple more points.
Yo, Primo, so check me out. Check me out. Because I got to jump off the call in a second. But he shot 13 shots. So he averaged 18 on 13. So you don't think with 5 more shots, he can't average 10 more points?
Yeah. I mean, that would mean he makes every shot. That would mean he makes every shot.
No, my bad.
On a lottery team.
Wait. Oh, okay. I'm saying with 5 more shots, at 18 shots, you don't think not 10 more points. I meant 8 more points. Reason being, though, is because he's going to shoot free throws too. He's going to get more free throw attempts. If he's the focal point and he gets more possessions, he's going to have more free throw attempts. On top of that,
how many possessions a game?
He's not that aggressive to get those free throws.
Forget the shots. How many possessions a game do we get? Let's see if he aggressive. I'm sure he get the ball down there, man.
I mean, I don't know if it would be 26 or whatever, but I think you guys are like 26 and 10 isn't 26 and 10 of 15 years ago. 26 and 10, 15 years ago, that's Amari Stoudemire. That's those elite level top 5 bigs. Right. Now we've got guys who aren't elite, averaging high 20s, 25 points a game. So do I think in today's game, on a bad team, Ayton could average 25? Probably. I don't think it would mean much. I don't think it would be, he's on the level of these all-time great bigs because he's averaging 25 and 11. I just think it's easier to score now.
Name the big men averaging 26 and 10 right now.
There's no big. The only bigs that get played through are like Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid and AD. But I'm saying if a team played through Ayton, I think those numbers could happen. But
did you hear the names you just named?
They would lose a lot.
Yeah, the teams that play through their big. So if you played through DeAndre Ayton, he could put up numbers. That's what I'm saying. I don't think your team would be good. So I don't think it would be a good team.
But the names you just named, right? Okay. You said you don't have to be elite in this era to average 25, 26, and 10, right? Mm-hmm. But you couldn't name me nobody who wasn't elite who's doing it right now.
Because you can't name me a team that plays through their big who isn't an elite big.
What you mean?
Name me a team that plays through their
Brown
big.
averaged more than 80 on the same team.
The Lakers still play through Anthony Davis.
Not all year.
When AD is there, they play through Anthony Davis.
Not all the time. No, they don't.
All right.
Okay. I don't know what I'm
I'll see
what's
up.
Okay.
So that was that game. Hold on, real quick. If Randall can average 25, then Ayton can average 25.
2 different play styles.
Very different players.
Completely different. Not to mention one's a power forward, one's a center.
And one's better than the other.
Which one's better?
One's better than the other. One's better than the other.
Well, Tigger says Randall.
Nah, Julius.
No, he don't like
Julius Randle's not top 40.
You know he will go against him.
Julius Randle not top 40, man.
Yeah. Okay, so let's transition out west now. We saw the Lakers hold off the Timberwolves in a game that, to me, during the first 3 quarters, it looked like it was a Timberwolves game to lose, and they managed to do that. How do we break down that? Like, what do y'all think about that one? Let's just open it up.
I think the Lakers, man, they almost choked that one off. I think the Timberwolves really gave that game away. They showed their inexperience. They showed their lack of, fortitude, or whatever you want to call it. In that fourth quarter, they gave the game away. The turning point of that game was Cat's dumb fifth foul to me. They went on like a 7-8-0 run. I think they tied that game up when Cat got that fifth foul, because Cat was playing great. Cat was balling, like literally balling.
Yeah.
And I want to give credit to the guys off the bench too. I think what's his name, Alexander and Noel. They was hitting shots. You know what I'm saying? People didn't talk about that earlier today. They were hitting big shots, man. They came off the bench and they was knocking down shots. Prince hit big shots every time the Lakers were making a run. They was knocking down key shots. So I want to give them guys their kudos. But in the fourth quarter, they choked it off. I thought LeBron did a great job through three quarters, keeping his team in it. I think he scored 11 in that third quarter, was balling. And then AD on the offensive glass was a monster too. Yeah. I forget his offensive rebound numbers, but they were really good.
I think he had 8 offensive rebounds last night.
Yeah.
That was like 8. It was crazy.
And of course, they talked about that. He sold. He had a rough night. Yeah. I don't think it's going to define him as a player. It's not going to define him as a player. I don't think. But he got to take that one on the chin and get better. You know what I'm saying?
They got a whole nother if I'm a Lakers fan, I'm going into this Grizzlies game or Grizzlies series. You got to look at D'Lo. He got to break some of these allegations that he does not play good in the playoffs. I understand it's against his former team, but D'Lo's got to play much better. Like if they can put Ja Morant in a pick and roll situation and D'Lo can dominate that with AD and LeBron and have some high screens, they could win that series pretty confidently. But D'Lo's got to play better than that. That's like,
are you not worried? Are the Lakers fans not worried right now from what they saw last night?
They're pretty confident going into the Grizzlies game, man, or Grizzlies series.
Mm-hmm. I'm not worried. They didn't hit shots. I mean, they got to shoot better. 100%. They need to shoot better. I thought, yeah, D'Lo had a very underwhelming performance. They had to sit his ass down. So, but Schroeder stepped up. That's credit to their depth. Schroeder came in, gave him a strong 7 in the third. I think he came back with 7 in the fourth. Obviously hit the biggest shot of the game. So yeah, Schroeder. That's their depth showed, and Schroeder came in and did his job. So, kudos to Pelinka and whoever else that brought Schroeder over there. So, you got to give the Lakers credit, man. They held their mud, and the Timberwolves didn't.
Yeah,
Timberwolves give them problems though. It's not nothing new. They've been down a couple times playing them.
But you don't have. I mean, I understand. I think that you can make the argument they're better without Rudy Gobert, and now they have 5 less first-round picks because of it. But you also don't have Jalen McDaniels. You had Cat in foul trouble. You had Anthony Edwards not playing good. Obviously, you had Taurean Prince of all people shooting lights out. But like when you add all that and you were down,
no Nas Reed either.
Yeah, but you have all these guys and you're having fits. Like this should have been at home. At home. I like the Lakers. The Lakers should have blown them out by 20. Let's be real.
That's why I'm asking. Like, shouldn't the Lakers be a little concerned? They had no Nas Reed, they had no Rudy Gobert, no McDaniel, and then they barely squeaked that one out. If Taurean Prince on that last, because he had another look at it. If you ask me, he rushed the shot. Dennis Schroeder was running by him. He could have let him fly by. We said and knocked that down. He put it up the way he did. So I'm scared if I'm the Lakers.
It's just one game.
I think Lakers fans are overlooking the Grizzlies. I don't think Lakers players are overlooking the Grizzlies because they are a good basketball team. Really damn good.
I agree. Like I said, that was my preseason pick before the trade deadline.
They beat the Lakers.
KD, and what the Lakers did, that kind of changed my views. And then, with the injuries to Adams and stuff, that's going to hurt them. they're gonna have to play Tillman, I think, big minutes, and that's not a good
And
look.
Brandon Clark.
So
Brandon Clark's out.
Clark being out, yeah. So they're gonna have to put Tillman on the floor, and I don't think that's a plus matchup. AD should dominate that matchup. So and I think he'll get Jaren Jackson in foul trouble as well. So it's gonna be tough for the Grizzlies front line on that end of it.
So everything you just said about the Grizzlies is also true for Minnesota, except for the fact that John Morant isn't going to play like Anthony Edwards played last night. So it's
right,
like,
but you're not giving credit to what the other guys did.
Ja have a bad game
when Ant slacked off. You know what I'm saying? I think they were shooting through 3 quarters out. They were shooting damn near 50% from 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like half of that is Mike Conley. Just
half of that is Mike. No, it was the other guys too. When you talk about Prince, when you talk about Alexander, and I think Noel hit maybe 1 or 2. So
they was hitting.
No, they were.
And it was Anthony. It was Conley was balling for sure. So when you talk about that, are the Grizzlies going to shoot? You know, forget the names. Give me the production. You know what I'm saying? And the Grizzlies Timberwolves was producing through 3. You know what I'm saying? Are the Grizzlies going to produce to that level? We don't know. So you know what I mean. So you can talk about the names who weren't there, but let's talk about the guys that played and what they did. Like I said, they were shooting 50% from 3 through 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter just fell off the face of the earth. Yeah. So you know, I think they scored before that. It was a 12-point quarter. So before that foul, they had 9 points, bro. They had 9 points in the 4th quarter.
What was it? 76-61 at one point?
They had 9 points in the 4th quarter before that foul on Mike Conley in the corner. So they just stopped playing ball. Credit to the Lakers defense too, but I don't know what happened, bro. They just choked it.
As long as Triple J doesn't, I mean, this has been all season to be fair, but as long as he isn't in foul trouble and is able
he's going in foul trouble.
But
AD on you.
AD had every opportunity. AD had every opportunity. AD should have gone for like 40 last night with the roster that was sitting in front of him.
I agree.
I'll
play him good, man. It's just something about Cat when he see AD, he get up a little bit.
Tegan, I feel like you were about to go into kind of breaking down what the Grizzlies need to do to win this series. Is that what you were doing? I want you to break that down a little bit.
It's really going to depend on Desmond Bane and how much he can elevate his game. Like, it's the same idea I have, like, not making a comparison to John Giannis, but I'm saying when the Bucks went on their run for their championship run, a lot of times you had Desmond Bane be able to let me clarify. Chris Middleton hit huge shots, clutch buckets, because Ja's not a shooter. If Desmond Bane can consistently hit a ton of outside shots, spread out the defense, put AD in a lot of situations where he's going to have to pick and choose some battles, which he can, not saying he can't, but try to make AD as uncomfortable as possible and really try to make LeBron work on both ends, because he's going to want to be on the offensive end. He's going to want to run the offense. He's an old man. And if he can turn it up on defense, but you're going to have to try to put a lot of pressure on LeBron on the defense side of the ball. And not to mention, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers paid Shannon Sharp to be courtside just chirping for about every minute of that game. I would go out of my own way to pay him and say, hey, I'm going to plant you right next to the Grizzlies, across from the Grizzlies bench, just to chirp for all 3 of the games, because that series could go 7. I think it will go 7.
I think Ja gonna have to play like a monster in this one. He got to.
I got a question. Who's got more pressure? The Grizzlies to prove something, or the Lakers?
Both
sides. If the Grizzlies lose after all the chirping that they've done this year, acting like they're fine in the West, what's the narrative going to be then? What do you do then if you're the Grizzlies?
The Grizzlies. It's the Grizzlies in my eyes.
They so young, man, to where they could redeem themselves. You see what I'm saying? Brian and them can't go out in the first round again. He's going to get the most scrutiny.
The team with LeBron will always be under the most pressure, no matter who they're playing against. The only time where I'd say LeBron wasn't under the most pressure was 2017.
Yep.
That was Kevin Durant. But other than that, LeBron's under the most pressure in every single series, just because he's LeBron James, right or wrong. But that's just life.
I agree with that. You know, every playoff series is like legacy defining for him. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you know, the people he's the most polarizing figure in sports and basketball for sure. So you know, if he loses, you know, he ain't shit. He's the fake goat, the fraud, the this, you know, all that stuff. So
and they shorthanded. If the Lakers, oh man, you won't hear the last of that.
So if the Lakers lose, why did they lose? Like, make a prediction. Like, if they lose this series, what was the reason why they lost? Was it because AD didn't show up? Would it be because LeBron doesn't show up? Because when I start to think about that, I'm like,
right.
To me, the two reasons to me will be AD navigating double or triple teams and the perimeter defense. Those are the two reasons that the Lakers could lose this series, in my opinion.
I agree with the double team. I just think they're shooting. I think they're gonna have to make a bunch. They're gonna have to make a lot of shots, and I don't know if they have the shot makers to do it. I think that's probably going to be their biggest issue, along with AD's lack of playmaking ability out of a double team.
Does D'Lo's performance affect like how much would it impact this series? Like, if D'Lo plays like crap, is he going to be the scapegoat? Because you know that's how Lakers fans and LeBron fans go. They'll find a scapegoat.
They're gonna scapegoat him. But for me, I'm already banking on D'Lo playing trash.
But you can't scapegoat somebody if they play well. And then they can't be scapegoated. The reason why a lot of people get on Bron's neck. 2011, they still bring that up 12 years later. You know what I'm saying? But Brian usually plays up to par, so people be like, they can't really blame him.
Well, look at this. Timothy Hobbs says Lakers fans are in shambles with D'Lo. He will not get it done if he chokes. I'm telling you, Kyrie will be a Laker. Look at last year's playoff. D'Lo struggled.
Yeah, D'Lo's never played well in the playoffs. He's only been there twice, but he's never played well in the playoffs. So I don't think expecting him to change that now is really smart. It's just his game.
But with statements like this, are Lakers fans already warming us up for the D'Lo scapegoat?
Oh yes, 100%. That 100%. he's gonna be the scapegoat. It's gonna be him, AD, or Darvin Ham. They're gonna be one of those three guys.
Darvin Ham started. Darvin Ham's already done that, bro.
Yeah, they did. They already said Darvin was bad last night, and I didn't see how he was bad. I really didn't.
Yeah, I just wouldn't play when you
put Rui in this time.
Yeah, but I mean, Wyndham played minimal minutes. He gave
too many.
He went in there for a little couple of fouls and sat his ass down. Come on, bro.
Because at the point of the game, Rui was the only one aggressive.
Yeah, Rui played good. I thought Rui came in key shots. But yeah, D'Lo's gonna have to play better. But like I said, Schroeder gives him an out if he can step up like he did last night. And the Malik's gonna have to hit shots. Brown is gonna have to hit shots. Them dudes got to step up, man. But
also, Reeves got to play better.
I'm a LeBron fan. But I'm not going to absolve him for these late game blunders, these late game turnovers. You know what I'm saying? You got to put some on his name too, because he almost cost that game too with some of his mistakes. So,
but he hit the three to tie the game.
Huh?
You got to remember that
inbound turnover is on him 100%.
Yeah, that inbound turnover. It was some other turnovers
too. He threw a
earlier in the fourth.
He threw a pass.
Nobody. Yeah, he threw a couple passes. I'm like, LeBron, what are you doing, bro? And I know he was tired, and you know that's not an excuse, man. That's not an excuse.
If you're that guy, you don't get tired. So.
and that's the exact reason why LeBron can't give you 100 on defense and offense. Like yesterday, he was giving 100 on defense, and you saw that.
He was playing D.
He was gassed, bro. He was.
You see on that turnover that y'all just talked about when he stopped short and trying to cut in front of him. You see how he laid out for that ball? Like,
Yeah, I hadn't seen him do that.
max.
I hadn't seen him do that in a minute.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, all right, Brian.
Brian didn't want to play another game Friday. He's like, hell no.
I think Brian knew what I was thinking. Well, not what I was thinking, but what everybody was pretty much thinking. Like, I don't think Brian could get up for another game.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow. It'll be tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, the way Brown was dying, I mean, I know he has all the recovery stuff, you know, but at that age to play that many minutes, he'd have to come and probably, I don't know who it's going to be, but I'm assuming it's going to be the Pelicans and have to fight with Brandon Ingram for another 48 minutes. I don't like that. I don't like that for him.
Yeah, I don't like that.
But real quick though, I did want to say, you know, shout out to Dennis Schroeder. Because y'all got to remember, he was playing around to turn down that money.
Blew the bag.
You know, he blew that bag. He blew that bag. And if you ask me, I mean, if it would have been me, I would have probably been on suicide watch. You know what I'm saying? But you know, for him to be humble, come back and sign this contract, and then play his ass off the way he's playing, you know, that takes a humble man. That takes a humble man to come back and do it like this. So you know, shout out to Dennis Schroeder. That was a huge shot he hit.
We're gonna get you a check this time, Dennis.
Yeah, you better sign that contract this time, Dennis. Don't get the plan. But real quick, let me take a step back before because I know we were just talking about the Memphis game. But do y'all agree with this? It said Ant choked, but coaching is the reason they lost last night.
I do think you have to start looking at Chris Finch because someone said earlier that they lack maturity and they're still a young team. But at the same time, they had the same problems last year in terms of closing out games and blowing leads. I mean, if you've had a year to try and rectify that situation and you still can't fix it, at some point I'm looking at the coach and like, you need to get your team in a better position to succeed. They're settling for a bunch of jump shots in the fourth quarter. Like if your jump shot's not falling, maybe try and get to the rim, maybe try and get to the free throw line instead of just chucking up threes. Mike Conley scored 9 of their 12 points in the fourth quarter. That's just not sustainable. So I think Chris Finch needs to look at himself in the mirror.
I agree with all that. I agree with all that. Yeah, they were selling for jump shots. I will give the Lakers credit for their interior defense was amazing. So I think they had it when they did to the basket. AD was a monster down there. LeBron was a monster down there helping AD. So they had to settle for some jump shots. So
Vanderbilt was getting robbed of blocks.
They just couldn't hit nothing. So
he was locking up too.
Yeah, Vanderbilt had a great game. If Vanderbilt was just serviceable offensively, he'd be one of the most important players in the NBA. But he's really bad offensively. He just needs to become someone who can make a corner free or be a lob threat or something. Because right now he looks clueless out there offensively.
Yeah, and I know. So we just broke down Lakers and Memphis. I want to move out east and break down Atlanta, Boston. Got a couple super chats pertaining to that. Timothy Hobbs says, "Hot take: Hawks steal game 1 against the Celtics
and then lose 4 in a row."
Yeah, well, I see sweep.
Well, drink more water. Look at Atlanta's roster. They have a lot of talent on that team. Johnson and Okongwu were huge for Atlanta last night. They may be a top 4 seed next year.
Jalen Johnson just needs to he's someone else. He needs to get a jump shot because his 3-point shot is just not there. He has good playmaking ability. Defensively, there's potential there, but I think he needs to just become quicker and stronger. But Jalen Johnson is very interesting. He got one dumb turnover last night in the backcourt. He just tried to throw it to Trae Young and Jimmy Butler intercepted and got a dunk. But overall, I think Jalen Johnson is very good. Okongwu, I thought he was better than Capella, but I'm gonna stay out on Capella for now because he had a great game. But yeah, the Hawks' long-term potential is very good, and Quinn Snyder seems to be doing a good job with them right now. So maybe a top 4 seed, maybe not top 4, but like top 6 seed next year, probably.
So do we not see any way the Hawks can make it interesting?
No.
No. The top 3.
Either you're gonna put Murray on Jaylen Brown, and Jaylen Brown's gonna have to deal with that matchup, and then JT's gonna call.
Nobody could guard JT on that team.
You don't like DeAndre Hunter?
No. I just think JT's that good.
I think the only way Atlanta have a chance is because Boston like to shoot threes. Boston just have to miss. I don't think it's going to be because Atlanta start playing great defense. Yeah. Quinn Snyder's a coach. He'll give up the 3 if he wants to protect the rim. He'll do that. I think Boston just have to be missing. If Derek White isn't hitting, Marcus Smart, Brogdon, JT, Jaylen Brown, if they aren't hitting, they have a chance. But I wouldn't bet on the team that's like
They might could steal a game though. Trey,
yeah, maybe
a game at home, but like the Celtics, the only goal in this series, and I'm sure if somehow the Hawks win this, is going to be a great TikTok clip.
I got the Celtics going to the championship, so
if the Celtics' only goal from the series is to stay healthy and just move on to the second round, that is the only thing they got to be worried about is if they get dinged up in this series, and that is the only problem that they can.
Okay, so what's the layout? It ain't. We still got a game to play to get the full layout.
Got games tonight, and then the loser or the winner tonight plays the losers from last night. So we're about to get into that a little bit too. Let me finish these super chats real quick. Nick Dawson, I'm disgusted with our performance last night, Dub. I'm assuming Nick is a Heat fan. Can anybody confirm that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Got to be.
He's a big LeBron guy.
This one's a little off topic, so we'll wait for that one. Actually, we'll go straight to this one. We'll go back to this. Would you, along the road, Smith, would you take Portis 6'10" over Bam 6'9"? If Bobby were to play in the Bam role, Bobby scores all three levels and can rebound. Is that a stretch?
Yes, it's a stretch. He's probably a better rebounder than Bam, and yeah, he can score at all three levels. But defensively, they aren't in the same stratosphere. And Bam's also just a better passer and playmaker than Bobby Portis as well. But I like Bobby Portis. I think Bobby Portis isn't a big either. I think he's a 4-man as well. But he just play, and he's something. Well, Giannis probably plays the three in those lineups, but they play those ultra big lineups with Brook, Bobby Portis, and Giannis, and I think that makes it easier for him. Just as a rebounder and a stretch big, it just gives a matchup problem. But I think Bam's just better than Bobby Portis.
You got Bam too, Tiki?
Yeah.
Primo.
I think that's pushing it.
Me too. Yeah, I got Bam.
Okay. Tyson, you still here?
I like Bobby as a role player though.
Bobby does his job really, really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like Bobby a lot, but I think I'm gonna have to stick with Bam.
Yeah.
So Shane Howard wants to know how y'all feel about the 2013 Heat versus the 2017 Warriors.
Got the Warriors.
Like, are we talking a 7-game series?
The Warriors in 5.
I got the Warriors.
Yeah, we talking about this whole series. Y'all got the Warriors in 5.
I got Warriors in 4.
Warriors in 4.
I'll give the Heat a game. I'll give the Heat.
I got it 4-2. They might get 2.
Yeah. If Ray Allen saves LeBron's legacy again, maybe 2 games.
Don't go into this.
Who y'all got, Chad? Who y'all got, Chad? Talk to me. Y'all got the 13 Warriors or the 17, or 13 Heat or 17 Warriors. I need to know who you got and how many games.
Anyone who has the Heat is just a blind LeBron James fan.
That's what we've been trying to tell you about the Heat all month.
Ain't no way.
The Heat was overrated.
The Heat have no chance of beating that Warriors team.
No. The better question is the Bulls versus that Warriors team.
Which Bulls team?
The what is it? 96.
Which era are we
96, 97, huh?
Yeah, which era are we playing in?
Oh, you're right. Which era? We're gonna have to play in our era. We gonna have to.
Warriors in 6.
Well, look, we could split it. Let's put them in the 2000s.
Before the rule changes or after the rule changes? Because that's what. No, you're right. Because what you talking about, hand checking, that rule change? Illegal defense and them.
Is it crazy to say it's a more interesting matchup to say the 2000 Lakers?
I'd want to see the 01 Lakers against either team more than
the 01 Lakers wiped the floor with the Warriors, man.
With the Warriors?
Draymond Green is the best defensive player ever. What we doing?
Don't do this, Mars. Don't do this.
I've never thought that. I've never even.
They ain't gonna be able to stop
that conversation.
Did y'all see the storyline of some? It was a former NBA player that said that the Kings' offense this year is better than the Warriors' offense. I believe in 2016, 2015.
Based
that's
on raw offensive rating, is true. The Kings have the highest offensive rating ever, but that's also been true the last like 3 seasons. Every team with the best offense in the NBA has had the highest offensive rating ever, so it's kind of disingenuous.
But why were you so against that, Tiggy?
I'm not against it. It's just the progression of what the NBA is. Like, if that's the only reason why you say the Kings have a better inherent offense and that's the only basis, then sure, that's fine. But I think the Warriors' offense, like at its peak, was
machine.
You could have a 15-point lead going about 7 minutes in the fourth quarter, and you could not feel comfortable. You could not feel an ounce, because I got the PTSD of it as a Houston Rockets fan. Right here, I have the PTSD of playing that Warriors team, and never for 1 second could I ever feel comfortable playing that team. And I would like to backtrack on the whole like Warriors in 4. I think the Heat could probably get a game off, just because I'm thinking of it now. The 2000, because the 17 Rockets took them to 7, but they were constructed only to beat the Warriors. They built their entire roster.
Those Warriors aren't these Warriors though.
I think the Spurs would be a better matchup for the Warriors than one of those Spurs teams.
Which Spurs team?
The one that beat on LeBron and them. The one with Kawhi and all them on the team.
That was 14?
Yeah, 14.
Yeah, 2014.
I think that'll be a better matchup for the Warriors.
I just want to say with the offensive rating thing, the Kings have the highest offensive rating ever, but 20 years ago, the Dallas Mavericks had the highest offensive rating in the NBA at 110 point something. That Dallas Mavericks team would have the same offensive rating this season as the Detroit Pistons, which is the 3rd worst offense in the NBA. So the times have just changed. So if you're not judging
progression,
if you're not judging it relative to the year, you'll end up saying some crazy things. Like that Dallas Mavericks team with Michael Finley, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki is the same level of offense as the Detroit Pistons with Killian Hayes.
A couple of years ago, the Rockets had like the highest offensive rating, and then the next team broke it, and then the next team broke it.
Yeah,
it's just the progression of like with the pace of the league.
So what they saying, Big Ox?
They're not saying that. They're just talking as far as I'm concerned.
I hate this argument because I don't want to discredit the Kings offense.
That's exactly what you want to do. That's exactly
I don't want to. Dude, I want to like the beam. I want to like the beam with you, man. Come on, like I don't want to do this, but
right. Well, we'll see what happens next year. If a team beats that offensive rating, that'd be great. We don't need to be concerned. We don't need to be concerned with our offensive rating. We need to be concerned with picking up our defensive rating. That's
right. Bottom line is they got the best offense this year. Yeah. Is it going to translate to playoff success? That's the bottom line. You don't need to compare them to other eras.
I don't think the Kings a cakewalk like everybody for the Warriors. I keep telling
I got Warriors in 6.
Nobody really thinks that. They just know it's a trend.
Like it's a fad.
It's the cool thing to say. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody.
I think the people saying Warriors in 4 and 5 are crazy. But
people are afraid.
Matchup wise, it's really tough if the Warriors stay healthy.
People are afraid to get laughed at and ridiculed by their friends for saying that they think the Kings can beat the Warriors, even though they really believe.
And all that first-time playoff stuff don't mean that. You're going to have to step in there one day.
It means something.
No, it does mean something to me. It does mean something.
It means something.
It means something.
Why do you think the Grizzlies struggled with the Timberwolves last year as the second seed?
I've seen some puppies take their team to the Eastern Conference Finals before.
It happens.
Them boys over there in Boston.
We're not comparing the East to the West, though.
Don't forget that East.
That East back then.
What you mean? The West ain't so dominant now? The West dominant?
I think the West is not dominant, but it's definitely got a ton of parity.
Who you think is the favorite? Who you got winning the championship?
The whole thing? The Bucks.
Oh, okay. So you got an East team winning it.
Yeah, the top of the East.
Yeah,
what are we doing?
If the Bucks don't make it, can Boston beat Sacramento or go? Can they beat any one of them teams that so tough over there?
Oh, I'm comparing. I'm saying the East back then when the Celtics made the Eastern Conference Finals with JT. I'm saying
I
the East
know.
back then was not as good as what the East is right now. The East is
And
still
I'm
top
comparing
heavy
the
right
West
now.
to that East. Ain't nobody a
damn.
favorite over here.
You think the West this year is the same level as the 2018 East?
No, not the same level. I'm saying it's the same. Ain't nobody dominating over here on the West.
I
Nobody
think if the
was
Suns had
dominating
KD
over
for
there
the
on
full year,
East.
they'd probably
Yeah,
be dominating.
because there's parity, but
That's fair, Diggin.
parity doesn't change that. It's just a bunch of good teams. So it just
So
a
this
lot
is
of
what I'm saying.
unproven
That
good
it was
teams.
parity on the East. It was a bunch of bad teams.
yeah. So that's
Was
the
it?
difference. That's the difference. A bunch
What
of
you
mids
mean?
versus a bunch of good
It was a
teams.
bunch of bad teams.
There was
It's still
parity
even.
in the. Yeah, but there's levels.
If we play on rookie on 2K, you got the
Oh.
same advantage as me, man. Don't get the, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
If we're looking at the 2018 East, you had the Raptors. Did anyone really truly believe they were
50 something games,
They
right?
had DeMar DeRozan.
Almost 60 games.
No, don't do that to the Raptors, man. The Raptors
I
were
will
a really
do that
good
to the
team.
Raptors. I will do that.
Games, just
They
like
had
how
DeMar
we
Nah,
DeRozan.
I think they was
LeBron
they
too.
was
the
top
same way
10
about the
offensive
Nuggets.
rating, top 10 defensive rating. They was legit,
And
bro.
they had DeMar DeRozan.
You can say what you want, but in the regular season they were legit.
Oh yeah, regular season.
Yeah, that's fine. But like,
Yeah, you can say what you want, but there was a
Hawks
top.
like a 60+ win team, and they were like one of the best statistical teams, and they got dominated by LeBron. Like we knew in that 20, we knew the 2018.
What does that mean? That they're a bad team?
They playing one of the.
No, they're a bad
greatest
team
players
because they
of
had
all time.
DeMar DeRozan. That's why they were.
I don't like that. I don't like that, Mars. I don't like that.
Tell me about DeMar
They had him in the
DeRozan's
regular
achievements in
season
the
too
playoffs.
when he was balling.
Regular season DeMar
For
DeRozan
sure.
is different than playoff DeMar DeRozan. They're different people.
He was balling in the
Well, you can say that
playoffs
about a
till
lot of
he seen
teams. You can say
Brown.
that about teams in the West too, that they were great regular season teams and weren't necessarily good teams in the playoffs.
We say it about the Utah Jazz, do we not?
Exactly. So when you guys say the West is stacked and all this stuff, all those years, you could say some of those teams were fraudulent too.
I agree. I agree.
Why?
Okay. Well, yeah. So let's not say the East was weak and then point to the Raptors when the West have teams that are frauds too.
Who right now in the playoffs
Like now
in the West is a fraud?
all the lower.
A lot of people think the Nuggets are a fraud.
Yeah, all the lower seeds is claiming wins.
I say unproven, not fraud. I would say
Is it one team? Just one team's a fraud. One team.
Well, it's yet to be seen, but I mean, I don't know about the Kings. Sorry, Bobby, but we don't know. We don't know what they're going to do in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? They got a bad.
That's what they're going to do.
Huh?
They're going to beat Golden State. That's what they're going to do.
Why is
okay? We'll see. That's yet to be seen. But all I'm saying is, don't big up the West all those years and then point to DeMar DeRozan and say they're a bad team when other teams had, you know what I'm saying? The Clippers, for example, are they a fraud? What you know what I'm saying is Kawhi Leonard going to do this? Is Kawhi Leonard what are they going to do? You know what I'm saying? We point to all these teams and act like they're just good because of their record, but then you say Toronto, you throw their record out and say they're trash.
On the West, in the West, you can find the reason. You can find
you, Big Mars. I got you, bro. I'm just saying, man, that's not fair.
You can find a reason to say that about every team in the West besides probably the Warriors. If you look at the Nuggets, it's like we don't know what they're going to do because what happened last year. They got knocked out first round. We don't know what Memphis is going to do. They got injury. They're injury prone. They're still young. The Kings, they haven't been to the playoffs in 2 decades. The Suns. KD just got there. The Suns got spanked last year by Luka and KD just got swept in the playoffs. So we don't know what they're going to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you can say that about every team in the West except for the Warriors.
Yeah,
right. That's all I'm saying. I agree. That's all I'm saying. Like let's not,
and if the
do
West
the East-West thing to me.
Why
You know what I'm saying?
Favorite. Everybody expect the Warriors to beat on the Kings. People said the Lakers gonna beat Memphis. It's all the bottom up top seeds. They give no respect.
It's name value too.
On the East, they top seeds. They got respect. Any one of them they say could come up out of there from 1 to 4. formidable.
The East has more. The East is more top heavy. So the top of the East is better than the top of the West, but 1 through 8 in the West is better than 1 through 8 in the East. I think that's the argument people are making. 1 through 8 in the West, you have the 8 seed can beat the 1 seed, whereas in the East, we all know Miami aren't beating the Bucks. Assuming it's Miami.
That is correct, but I think that's an outlier for this year due to injuries and trades. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I do agree.
You're right. Right. That's an outlier this year because usually the Lakers would be up top, the Suns would be up top. It wouldn't be the Kings and Memphis and those type of teams. You know what I'm saying? That aren't proven in the playoffs. So you know, and the Warriors, obviously the Warriors as well. So yeah, that's an outlier for this year.
And the East has the moderator, but yeah,
whatever.
And we can talk about the Bulls. We can talk about the Bulls and the
Raptors. They are losing.
We
definitely know why they.
Yeah.
We definitely about to get to that. Let me knock this super chat out and then we can get on to it. If the Cavs beat the Knicks, do they have a shot against Milwaukee in the second round? Yes. I think so. I think so too.
Yep.
But what do y'all think? Let's break it down. Primo, we're gonna start with you because I know where you at with it.
Yeah, you know the Cavs match up lightweight with them, man. The two bigs in the middle, the guard play, and then it's 2 elite guards. So me and Mars already talked about this. Drew Holiday probably gonna have to guard D. Mitch, so that's gonna leave Garland open for some. Then I like Evan Mobley and Jared Allen down there. They defense in the paint, it's elite too. So it's just a good matchup for them. That's all. Even though they got Giannis, that's the reason they give them the edge. They got Giannis.
Tegan, what you saying? Let's see what you got.
Oh, that's a big if. I think the Cavs. We always have a surprise in the playoffs. I think the Cavs could win this in 5. I think that shouldn't be a surprise to some people. And the Cavs would give Milwaukee the most problems in that second round. I'd still pick Milwaukee because they're my NBA champion pick, but they could push it to 6, and that shouldn't be a surprise to people. Okay, go ahead.
I agree. I agree with them. You know, obviously they can beat the Knicks, obviously, but no, I don't have faith in them over the Bucks. I'm like I said, I'm a big guy on experience and who's done it. So I'm thinking the Bucks with their experience, they've been through all them wars. I think they dominate the Cavs. I don't want to say dominate. I give 5-6 game series.
D. Mitch time, man. Quit playing with it.
D. Mitch is cool, but I don't think he's that. I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's
What?
Why not?
What's that guy mean?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, you guys talking about like he's about to put the team on his back and go out and give you 35s and 40s every night. No,
not every night, but he could.
In this series,
he could, but he's not. That's what I'm saying. Anything could happen. Yeah, he's a good player. I'm not saying he's not a good player. I don't think he does that against the Bucks defense.
Hey, Mars, how can it happen? How can it happen?
Yeah, break it down, Mars.
Okay, well, the key to a Bucks Cavs series is entirely Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen. Giannis getting to the rim is the key to the Bucks offense. If they don't have that downhill pressure, that doesn't create space for guys like Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, etc. And I think what they're going to do, and I might be wrong with this, I think they're going to put Evan Mobley more than likely, because if the Bucks start Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Jay Crowder, Giannis, and Brooke, they're probably going to put Evan Mobley on Jay Crowder, have him roam off of him, and then they're going to dare Jay Crowder to make shots, and then they're going to stay home on the other shooters on the team, clog the lane for Giannis. And I think the reason why that's not going to work is because the Bucks can do the exact same thing off of Isaac Okoro. And that's what's going to stunt the Cavaliers offense, in my opinion. Because Evan Mobley doesn't space the floor. Jarrett Allen doesn't space the floor.
Neither one of them.
Isaac Okoro doesn't space the floor.
But what about when Karis LeVert's in there instead of Isaac Okoro?
Then I think you just have too many defensive liabilities out on the perimeter, because then the wing position is the whole issue I have with Cleveland.
Yep.
If they got Mikal Bridges, just somehow they got Mikal Bridges,
that would be.
I think they could have made a finals run. The issue I have is Karis LeVert offensively brings them everything they need: extra playmaking, extra shot creation, extra shooting Defensively, he takes away everything you need. Isaac Okoro brings you everything you need defensively, and then offensively, he's egregious.
Can't give you nothing.
If you could just combine both of them together and have Isaac Levert, I think they'd have a shot. But I think the game plan is going to be very similar, where they're both going to they both want to get downhill. They're both going to dare the non-shooters to shoot. The issue is the Cavs have more non-shooters than the Bucks, and I think that's going to be the key to the series. So I got the Bucks in 6, but if Isaac Okoro starts shooting 40% from free, might go 7 games.
Cavs need to sign Cameron Johnson. That he'd be a perfect plug and play for them. So I think Cameron
Johnson on the Cavs.
I think he's
on Brooklyn, but yeah, he'd be good for the Cavs.
He's unrestricted. I think this.
Imagine if they never traded Wiggins.
Facts. Wiggins right now, 9 years later, he'll be good for them.
Hey, I will say for that Bucks Cavs series, if they can because I think the key for like trying to dismantle Giannis is force him through double teams to make split hair decisions. Force him to make a decision, whether that's a pass, a shot, literally just it may seem simple, a quick double team at the late end of a shot clock and force him to make a decision because he'll turn the ball over. But if he starts
he'll go get 30 and 15 or something, just get it.
Why do you think
if that 30 and 15 is a bit less efficient, that hurts the Bucks offense. That's already not great. So
30 and 15 with 5 turnovers and 4 fouls, that can lose you a game.
He gonna need somebody on the perimeter. But he always got a perimeter person to step up and help him out, though.
I think D-Mitch is that guy, but putting Drew Holiday on him, I've seen Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday put Damian Lillard in a blender in that Pelicans.
Devin Booker too.
In a blender. I think D-Mitch could be a number 1 option on a championship team, but like,
but D-Mitch can get off the ball.
I like Darius Garland.
If Drew Holiday's on Donovan Mitchell, D-Mitch can work off the ball, come off screens with Darius Garland running things, and Drew Holiday can't.
He's got a quick trick.
Well, the one cat too over there, Javon Carter, the ball head cat.
Yeah.
He's an underrated defender. He's
a minus offensively.
That's what he does. Well, I'm just saying, speaking on defense.
He's okay. He can knock down a 3 for you. He's not. I won't say a minus, but he's not. Obviously, he's not like a.
I forgot the Bucks start Grayson Allen though. That does kind of hurt my spacing point because Grayson Allen also spaces the floor. They have a lot of shooters, so
they do. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they do. I think the Bucks. I think the Bucks win that going away. Me personally.
Yeah, the Bucks are a kind of good team. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Bucks are crazy. I do think the Cavs have the best chance with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen to slow them down.
D-Mitch got to go crazy, and I don't see it happening.
Evan Mobley is going to show why he's one of the best.
I don't see D-Mitch going crazy like that against the Bucks. I'm not saying he's not capable, but I'm just saying against that Bucks D, I don't think he'll have a game or 2 maybe, but he's not going to go crazy like that.
I think D-Mitch against the Knicks is going to go nuts, and the hype is going to build up to that season.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be on the Knicks. They should have got him, but thanks.
I think he hears people talking about how Jalen Brunson put him in a blender against that Mavs series last year. He's going to want to prove something, not to mention the whole Knicks and New York narrative. I think Donovan Mitchell's got something to prove this series, especially now that it's his first playoff series.
Though. He got a squad.
He does have something to prove. I'll give you that. He does have something to prove. Let's see what he does with it.
So does Julius Randle.
So does Julius Randle.
He ain't going to prove anything, but D-Mitch
is a lot more capable than Julius Randle.
So you think what team you think was better? Utah with D-Mitch or this team with the Cavs?
The Cavs.
Exactly. They're more constructed to win a championship.
He got a squad.
In time, man. There's some young boys, man. Give them a little second. Give them a little minute.
I think they're a contender next year or the year after.
Baby.
Some young boys, man. It's their first rodeo. Come on now.
It ain't D-Mitch first rodeo.
Not D-Mitch. I'm saying the team, the whole, you know what I'm saying? You talking about some young cats over there, man, besides D-Mitch.
Yeah, they're a wing and a good backup center away from really making a good run.
Yeah.
When they pop them boys, don't run. We want PC the next day.
Oh, facts. I sit up here. I eat my crow, man. If the Cavs pop the Bucks, bro, I'm a salute.
Let me on.
Yeah. One way or another, we're gonna get on here and talk about it. But let's talk about tonight's games. Let's start in the East. Chicago, Toronto. Who you got, Morris?
Do I even need to say who? One team has DeMar DeRozan. They are going to lose the game because they have DeMar DeRozan. So I have Toronto winning. I don't know how they're going to do it. DeMar DeRozan is going to be trash, and then Toronto are going to score more points than the Chicago Bulls because DeMar DeRozan is going to have about 11 points on 4 of 29 or something crazy like that. So, but Zach LaVine, I think, will have a good game. I think the key to the game, like no troll, is probably Vucevic, just because I think the Toronto Raptors just have a bunch of 6'10" guys. I think Vucevic needs to play on the interior, be a dominant rebounding force, make Jakob Poeltl struggle defensively, and make him work. I think that's going to be the key. Scotty Barnes' scoring just hasn't been there all season. So I think he offensively is also going to be a big key for them if he can get to the rim and not settle for jump shots. But ultimately, it comes down to the fact that DeMar DeRozan is DeMar DeRozan, and that's why they're going to lose.
Trolling aside, the Bulls have actually been a pretty great team after the All-Star break. Not great. Let me backtrack. Good team. I think the key for the Raptors is Fred VanVleet. He's been the most one of the most inconsistent players all season, and he's going to have a matchup against Caruso's playing, right? His matchup is Caruso and Patrick Beverley.
Yeah, he's cooked. He's cooked.
He's cooked. Then you have who?
I got the Bulls.
I got Bulls. Yeah, I think the Bulls. I'm not a fan of DeMar DeRozan, and they're going to get swept.
Make the playoffs, man.
Do you know who? Okay, I just want to make sure we all know. Does everyone know who is on the Chicago Bulls roster? Does everyone know? Because I feel like we're not paying attention to the fact that DeMar DeRozan is on the Bulls.
Every time,
if a game is not from 1 to 82 of the season, DeMar DeRozan is not good. And right now we're at game 83. That means DeMar DeRozan is liable to play trash. That means they're going to lose. That's just
Mars. I'm forced to agree with you on this one. I'm
gonna roll with Pat Bev.
What? Bulls are winning this game,
DeMar DeRozan.
Bulls are winning this game, bro.
In the playoffs.
Bulls are winning this game.
Unless Gary Trent Jr.
I'm not here for the DeMar DeRozan slander. Yeah, he sucks, but you too hard on the boy. You too hard on the boy. He's about to show up tonight.
When has he ever showed up post 82 games?
Tonight.
You just said, yeah, he sucks, but y'all too hard on the boy.
Y'all too hard on the boy, man. Watch him tonight. Watch him. He about to shake it off. Watch this. He gonna prove Mars wrong just because Mars up here gassing like that. You know what I mean? Hating on young DeMar like this. Watch this.
Young DeMar.
This in LA, bro.
He's been folding for 10 years.
He gonna rep the city tonight.
How old is
36?
DeMar? Like 32, 33 years old, ain't he?
Yeah,
man. Some people mature late, man. You didn't get your shit together till a little older in life, Bobby.
33.
You know what I mean? It took me a while, bro. I'm 40. I just got my stuff together. You know what I mean? Come on, bro.
I'm still working on it, but as far
as
hoop go though, if you're not doing it by the time you're 29, it's not there. Bro.
I'm trying.
It's just not gonna happen for DeMar.
29 is a little late, but I'm like, if you gotta have about 20,
gotta
by
be
26,
consistent
27.
in life.
He's been folding since he was like 24. Like it's just that's who he is.
To who?
Now
to
in his defense, that was Bron. That was Bron. That's
Big Bron.
But he still hasn't proven to me nothing.
8 times they folded in a row.
All right, man. I'm not a DeMar DeRozan fan. I just think y'all going a little tough on him, man. I hope he have a good game tonight. They ain't gonna go nowhere, but I hope he have a good game tonight and wipe these boys out. I got my money on the Bulls.
For me, it's not just.
I blame LeBron.
I don't believe in Zach LaVine either.
I don't. That's what I was about to say. They got two kind of sellers as their best players, so I don't know, bro. I don't know. But then
Zach LaVine will show up.
I like Zach.
I don't think Toronto really got too much to as far as Caruso, like you said, he's gonna give Van Fleet a tough night. Pat Bev gonna give him a tough night, and I don't think they got too much. I don't think Toronto got too much, so I got the Bulls. I ain't gonna cap like I watch either one of these teams too much, to be honest.
Alex Caruso is the best guard defender not named Drew Holiday in the NBA. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but Alex Caruso, other than Drew Holiday, there's no guard who plays defense better than him.
Man,
So-
Alex, I miss him so much.
You know why the Bulls need to win this
From the
game?
Lakers.
So that Nick Nurse can get to Houston quicker. That is what needs to happen. Nick Nurse is going to be the next Houston Rockets head coach, and
That is a fact.
But he got one foot out the door. Yeah, Toronto up out of here, man.
Y'all
You
about to-
got
you know
one foot out the door.
And that is
Y'all
you
about
bring
to
up the
get
coaching
Ime
too.
Udoka.
They got Billy Donovan too. Like Billy Donovan's, I don't understand how he still got an NBA coaching job.
You got to get Ime, man. He gonna come hit the get old girl together upstairs and the players together. He gonna get it all together.
Well, on
The
that
whole
note,
organization flowing right.
on that note, let's move back out west. What's going on tonight with the Thunder and the Pels? Do we got a read on that? Is that obvious, or who you got, Tegan?
Exactly. Being
Thunder and the Pels, man.
balling.
I gotta stick to pushing my narrative.
The
I think
Thunder
OKC
narrative?
wins. Yeah, I want to see OKC in that last play-in game. I think the Timberwolves want to see OKC because of the inexperience that team has and the matchups and how well they play them in the regular season.
Yeah.
But matchup-wise with the Pelicans, they have a lot of experience. They're also the most injured team comparatively to the Thunder. And I'm gonna take the best player in the series, and that's Shea. Or in the game.
We're just disrespecting Brandon Ingram right now.
I think Shea's better than Brandon Ingram.
But you said it like it was just easy. I don't like that. Brandon Ingram is on that level, 100%. So
he's that guy.
I like Bi.
Yes,
Hey, Morris, I know you don't got too much time. I know you don't got too much time, Morris. Can you break this one down for us?
Okay, yeah. I think I've got the Pels winning, because they're at home, so I think that's a big key for them. I believe Brandon Ingram's shot creation is going to be key. I'm a huge fan of what I think this might be another hot take. I think Valanciunas is probably the key to this game. The OKC do not have size at all. OKC's lack of size is a big issue for them. Jeremiah Robinson, and those guys, they don't have anyone who can match up down low with Valanciunas. As we've seen in these other playing games, rebounding has been key. AD's offensive rebounds, Clint Capella. Jonas Valanciunas is going to do the exact same thing tonight. He's gonna eat on the board. He's going to get a bunch of putbacks, second opportunities. That's why I have the Pels ultimately winning. But I think OKC are 1 year away. So next year, OKC are going to be a very dangerous team to look out for, especially with Chet back. But yeah, that's all I had to say. And I do have to go. So thanks for having me. And
All right,
I
Morris,
appreciate
please,
it.
Morris.
All right, brother, man.
Well,
and that rookie, what's his name?
Rookie from which one? From OKC?
Yeah, is it Jalen?
Jalen Williams.
Oh, Jalen Williams. Yeah,
I like him.
Yeah. So
no, them boys play hard. Them boys play hard. I like OKC, but like you said, I think they're about a year away. I think they're a year or two away actually from trying to make a playoff push or being considered a contender. So yeah, I'm going with New Orleans.
Yeah, Shea a beast. My bad.
Shea is a beast.
I want to get this take off because I want to say it early. Really, like I'm talking like 2 years early, just so I can look back at this. I think the team that most likely, if Luka trades out, the team that's most likely going to give an offer you can't refuse to, and Luka will get traded to, is the Thunder. They have 2 May draft picks. You trade
Luka.
If you're the Dallas Mavericks, and you have to trade Luka Doncic, I mean, I understand you're trading to another West team and another Southwest team if you care about divisions, even though divisions really don't matter. The Thunder have enough draft picks that you cannot say no to that. And then you have Shea, and you would probably have to trade Giddey and maybe Jalen Williams or Lou Dort to make the money work. But
OKC can't do that if they got to give up Shea too.
They won't give up Shea. They won't have to. They have enough draft picks where you can give up Giddey and Lou Dort and a bunch of draft picks, and then you have a core of Shea, Chet, whoever you draft, and then Luka.
Yeah,
and because you don't. Shea's not he's a scorer. He is not a elite
could play the 2.
Yes, easily, and I think he would excel at the 2 with Luka being more ball dominant.
Okay. So you know what? So now that we know,
that's a horrible take. Horrible take.
Oh, well, go ahead, Tasha.
I don't like Luka over there at all. I like Shea in his role as he is. Luka over there, to me,
He gonna take the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. To me, they don't need that type of scoring punch. I don't think on a team that needs Luka to score and do all that facilitating and dribble, late shot clock pass to open to a catch and shoot. No, I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
I'm saying that more on the understanding that Luka's going to have to adapt, and I think he could. I think he's in a position at Dallas where he feels like coming from Europe, where it's a more team-centric style of play, and he goes to Dallas where he hasn't been surrounded with a ton of players that kind of fit that play style. Not to mention, I don't believe in Jason Kidd. I think Luka, obviously the narrative right now is you can't play with another star. That's the same narrative that we had for James Harden before Chris Paul got there because of what happened with Dwight Howard. I think that you can definitely find somebody that could play off of Luka really well. It doesn't have to only be Shea. This is me more just talking about the narrative that Luka can't play with another star. But if
you think he can't again? I don't think he's interested in it. I don't think he's interested in changing the way he plays. I don't think that, like, when he hears it, I think it's in one out the other. I think he's like, I'm Luka Doncic. I've been this man since I was 16 years old. I don't have to change. Y'all have to change for me. I think he's that classic prima donna, self-consumed type guy where it's like, this is my world.
I think Luka's emotional. I think Luka is an emotional player because he wants to win. I think Luka needs to mature on a basketball front. Not to mention, I think that he is a player that is very much focused on winning. And he is an emotional player. You see it when he complains to the refs. I think it's the same. I think we got to be more obviously critical of what Luka has done this year because James Harden's never missed, and that's who we've been comparing to all year is James Harden in his Rockets days versus Luka. But I think we are calling it a little early on Luka right now. It's not like he's like 28, 29. It's very early.
I agree with that. I'm not saying that Luka is done or whatever, or he can't win. I'm saying if you're OKC, why would you take a chance on that when you're already building this culture and you're already building this team around Shea and Chet and other, your other pieces? Why would you go get a Luka Doncic to throw a monkey wrench in that chemistry you're building? I would rather go get, if you want to go get somebody, I don't think that's the style of player I would go after.
What you think then? What would be the perfect type of a ring?
Yeah, I would go with more of a defensive type wing. I'm not going to get a player that's not going to play defense, that's going to dominate the ball and that type of thing. So yeah, I would go get a more of a 3-and-D type player, a very solid 3-and-D type player that can, if needed, have some shot creation. But I'm not going to get Luka Doncic. No, I already have my scoring punch. I'm looking more towards defensive versatility and shot making.
They compare them to Harden, but I don't. If we saying that Luka does all this, Harden get the ball up if he got to. He just played in the system to where
even still, I wouldn't want a Houston Harden on that team. Like, no, I don't want that type of player. I don't want that archetype of player on that team right now.
But we see Harden turn into probably one of the best point guards in the league this year. You see what I'm saying? So that's
facts. That's facts. But I'm just saying, he had to prove that though, Primo. He had to prove that. So I'm saying right after that Houston run, I'm not going to get him like right then. Now that he's proven that, okay, that's fine. But if Houston, I'm not taking. I mean, if I'm OKC, I'm not taking that chance.
But I see a little bit what Tegan talking about because when he had Jalen Brunson on the team, you see what I'm saying? He's saying like Shea and him could play that way.
But Jalen Brunson is Shea is way better than Jalen Brunson. You feel me?
Exactly.
Yeah. What they need to do is they need to get Luka a dietitian.
Exactly. If they get some
figure out how this boy putting on 20 pounds in the middle of the season.
Texas barbecue is good, man.
Putting up 30.
Yeah, I love it down there. I love it down there in Dallas. I've been to DFW.
Can eat a chicken burger and put up 60 and 20, man.
Yeah.
This is the difference between when I go to DFW and I indulge in that barbecue and hit Papa Do's and go eat all the spots I want to eat at. The difference is I don't got to play at 7 p.m.
First, and you traded all my players in the middle of the season. We was 4th.
That's crazy.
Why did you do that?
I think it's a toxic relationship. They all bad for each other.
That was a bad ownership move.
I think
that was a bad move. I said that's when that happened.
The Mavericks felt pressure to make a move.
100%.
If you look at the market, there was not any other stars, so they saw a star become available and they jumped on it because deep down they know with how volatile and emotional Luka is, he's gonna ask for a trade if you don't make a move. So
you're telling me if you're telling me so you haven't been in a relationship for a couple of years. You're starting to feel a little lonely, but you're not really into going to the club to look for those, little flings. You're telling me you're gonna wipe up the most toxic chick in your apartment complex?
I mean, they've already shown a history. They've already shown a history of making a move because they saw a star become available last second, like Kristaps. Kristaps at the time was seen as a rising star, and he became available, and they jumped on it, and it didn't work out.
He wasn't a rising star at that moment.
Was he not? He was an
injury prone. That was the narrative about him. Is he going to be able to stay on the court for a long time? He didn't. He was a rising star on the Knicks.
Promise, though.
Well, he had promise, yeah, but that you guys both are right. Y'all both are right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to disagree. The guy was injury prone, but like at the time of when he was traded, I think the narrative was that Dallas fleeced him. At least that's what I remember. Was Dallas fleeced for a guy that could be a star and who could be a star right next.
I agree with that.
A perfect fit next to Luka because of his ability to stretch the floor and how he could protect the rim. That didn't work out. Then you go to
they need him now.
What do y'all think about along the road Smith? He says I can see Luka and Jokic where you trade MPJ to Dallas.
That's a nice. I like that too.
And then Christopher D kept it real. No one is coming to Dallas. Y'all know this. No one's coming to Dallas. They're not trying to play with Luka.
I agree.
Out of control, man.
I want to talk about that. That Nuggets fit would be a nightmare defensively, but unstoppable offensively.
You got to get some 3-and-D guys.
KCP, if he could still be, I mean, it depends on the timeline, right? Because he said the earliest that you can trade Luka is 2024 when he's expected to ask for a trade request and like force his way out.
Yeah.
So like at the state of the league is going to be different. I mean, the Kings got the highest offensive rating this year. Who knows what's going to happen next year?
We're going to have the highest offensive rating again.
If I'm an owner, I'm not trading you. I don't care what you talking about. Like you might as well sit down, man.
Yeah, when your contract is up, you do what you do. But
you go ahead about your business.
Man, Christopher D, Big Ox. I understand Luka had a down year, but a lot of why they missed the playoffs was circumstantial and off the court issues. Is it wrong to ask to give Luka more time, or you think this is who he is?
No, you kind of have to give him more time. You have no other choice.
Yeah, I mean, I can't give him nothing. But
what do you mean by off the court issues?
I don't know. I think that's something that was saying going on with Luka's mother or something. I have no idea. I don't really want to assume too much.
Oh yeah, if it is, then we.
Yeah, I don't got no idea, but I think it's just another cop out for Luka. Just like how they do with KD.
Well, here's the thing, though. I keep trying to tell you guys, like the problem with Luka is in the Mavericks. It's not that like Luka's not good. It's not that Luka's not a superstar. It's not all of that. I think the problem is Luka actually was too good for his own good. Keep in mind, they drafted Luka at 2. So they drafted Luka at 2.
No, drafted Luka at 4, 3 or 4.
Third pick.
Third, because we had the 2.
Okay, so they traded up from the 5th pick and got him at 3, right? Keep in mind, if you're in the top 5, more than likely your team's not good. So what Luka essentially did was took them from poverty and made them a playoff team. They went from poverty to playoffs. That is not supposed to happen over a year span. You're supposed to go through poverty for a couple years. You're supposed to get a few different draft picks. Dallas didn't do that. Luka expedited their rebuild process so much that it was like we weren't able to get some more young dogs around you. We weren't able to the next year go and draft somebody else. Then the next year get somebody else. And now it might not be a superstar player, but it's somebody that's going to be a good fit alongside Luka. They weren't able to do that. So now they're not looking at their team like, okay, we got some young dogs, like OKC, for instance. We got some young dogs, so we'll just build them up and let them just go through the ringer and become good. No, it's like, okay, we got this one superstar, and let's go and try to find a whole bunch of other pieces to try to put around them. And that doesn't happen in the NBA.
But OKC got 1 million picks, though.
Or be the Lakers a desirable location, or the Heat a desirable location.
I ain't gonna lie, I could see a world where if James Harden leaves the Sixers and they got a piece in Maxey that's very enticing. I could see a world where the 70s. It's Daryl Morey, man. It's Daryl Morey. He makes nothing out of something, like into something. Like I don't know.
You're saying James Harden to the Mavericks?
I don't know, man. I'm saying in this world where James Harden leaves in free agency to Houston, which is a real rumor. He was hooping in Houston just 2 days ago. And
hooping in Houston doesn't mean nothing, bro. He just spent so much time in Houston of his life. Like, of course he hoops in Houston.
Yeah, but like, what's to say
Houston is a good city, babe?
What's to say he doesn't get Nick Nurse? The Rockets get Nick Nurse. They get the #1 overall pick. That's not an enticing spot for his point in his career, but it's not a. I'm saying in this hypothetical, he goes to Houston in free agency. Then you have Maxey and a bunch of draft picks. The 76er. If I'm the Mavericks, I'm trading Luka. I don't want to trade him into a West team. The reason why I say Oklahoma City as an option is because they have that many damn draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go over to the East, it gets really, really weird on who could trade for Luka in that position. I don't know. Maybe the Pacers, and you have Tyrese Halliburton next to Luka. I know Ron's a big Tyrese Halliburton guy. Like going down the list, maybe the Heat, but like I don't know if there's enough enticing players.
You can see Luka playing completely off ball with Tyrese Halliburton.
I think at some point in his career, he's going to have to play off ball. Because, I mean, the best thing with James Harden for the Rockets was how much off-ball Chris Paul was and how good of a defender he was. And Chris Paul, for most of his career, you could plug and play into every single system, and he was going to be a plus player. I think either you find someone that is, which is a bold statement to say, that is like Chris Paul, or that can play off-ball, and Luka runs the show and they win a ton of games. I think the narrative that Luka can run the show as a dominant player and not win games is not true. I think Luka as the most primary ball handler can still win you a championship. Yeah,
me too. You don't think that, Big Axe? I think
if they put the right pieces over there.
I think
what pieces?
Big man.
Shit, I don't know.
What pieces? I don't see it.
They don't be able to do it. They
don't have
enough.
They shouldn't have gotten rid of Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson was a good fit next to him.
I disagree.
That's why I'm saying trade Luka. Just start over. Let's get it on.
Name me a time where that type of play style has worked and won a championship.
What? With the right players?
Name me a situation where that type of play style.
I mean, when you say LeBron, kind of.
He don't play like LeBron.
Exactly. You can say LeBron.
He's nothing like Lebron.
Exactly. You can say
stats might look similar, but they don't play nothing like you.
Don't do that.
Well, to me, it's close. But LeBron's difference is he played great D, and also he's a better facilitator to me.
And on top of that, LeBron doesn't settle for as many jumpers too.
Exactly, he puts constant rim pressure.
It's not necessarily off night because Bron's going downhill.
Exactly.
Bron in transition. Luka not getting down.
He's an athletic freak. That's not.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
We're not talking about on the athleticism, but
his athleticism allows him to play
but just below the rim.
Because his athleticism allows him to play a completely different game. Luka can't
No,
play like Bron.
Agreed. His athleticism makes him more rim pressure, quicker decisions, quicker moves.
Yeah, and make him
You know what
better.
I'm saying? So it's different. So that James Harden style of play, that Luka Doncic style of play, to me is not conducive to winning basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it the James Harden as much. I see it, but not as much as people. He got like a mix of LeBron and James Harden in it when I watch him play.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. He does a little more he does it different than James Harden. He's a little more in the post. He does different things than James Harden does. I agree with that. But I'm just saying, to me, that style of play is very similar. The style of play, as far as the ball dominance and the just having shooters around you and relying on shooting to get you over.
Right.
To me, it's just we saw that doesn't work.
Elite playoff performer compared
Who's
to
that?
James Harden.
Oh no! I agree, but it's still coming up short to me.
Because this is what I'm saying. We don't know what James Harden would have did if he would have stepped it up a couple times,
or if Chris Paul's hamstring could just survive.
Right, could have stayed together. We don't know if James Harden could have won with
that. If, shoulda, coulda, woulda.
I'm saying we ain't gonna have to worry about that with Luka. When it's big game time, he gonna get out there and play.
We're gonna see, bro. We will see, man. We'll see. Like I said, I'm not a believer till I see it win.
That's the only thing I agree with on that is that Luka don't shy away when the lights turn on.
I agree with that.
Luka getting busy.
I agree with that.
Let me get back to these super chats.
Hey, Bob, hold up right quick.
Okay,
Though. I want to say though that when it comes to Luka's style of play, like I'm personally not a fan. I'm not a fan of somebody that's so ball dominant. But I do think if you put the right dogs around Luka, similar to AI, I do think he can run the table. And my dude SSJ in the comments, he said Toronto. I could see something like Luka getting traded for, let's say like a Scotty Barnes. And if they could keep either Scotty, Pascal, or OG, two of those guys around him, and he'll probably let's say he gets traded for Fred VanVleet and Scotty Barnes. So you got Pascal and OG around him, and just the Toronto culture.
You're gonna need more than that.
Yeah.
If you put those dogs,
but y'all not taking in consideration though. Do those players want to play that style? Do them players want to stand on the 3-point line and wait for the ball? Like that takes energy out your team, defensively and everything. To me, like nobody wants to sit around and just stand and wait for the ball and wait for a spot up jumper. You have to be a certain style of player to want to do that, man. So you say that he could go over there and be successful, but
do you think Mutombo complained about playing with Allen Iverson?
Mutombo was a different beast, though. Right. He was a solely defensive type of player, though.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like them dudes in Toronto are similar to that. Pascal Siakam, not so much, but OG
neither. He want the ball too, bro. OG want the ball too.
I think OG a default to Luka though, and I think that's like the
Luka let them get the ball. They don't be. Come on.
Yeah, but Primo, who wants the ball with 3 seconds up on the shot clock?
Not every time. Sometimes they be fucking up. I done seen Tim Hardaway and all them to get the crossing over Dorian. They'll be messing up the game.
All of y'all that's saying that Luka can't get traded nowhere, man. Y'all go watch the video. I did a video on this, and y'all I open your eyes a little bit to this whole situation. Y'all see.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, bro. I'm not a fan of that play style. I think it takes energy out your team. I think it takes, you know what I'm saying, the Cats. And not to say they don't get the ball, but when they do get the ball, you know, and they miss a shot or something, it's like, forget it, you take it, bro. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's a certain type of style of player that has to fit in that play style. And I don't think it's too many players like that in the league. They want the ball. They want an offense that's, you know what I'm saying, kind of gets them in their best light, you know, lets them shine in their best light, not just off the ball, you know what I'm saying, waiting for the ball. And when they do get the ball, they got to make a quick move or give it back to Luka. I don't know, bro.
Okay. Let me see. Leaf Diggy says Bulls and Pels are not losing or playing games, period.
You'll be surprised, Leaf. Matter of fact,
anything could happen.
The Bulls got Toronto tonight.
Hey, the Bulls going home.
That's what we was just. Oh, Ryan, you missed that part.
I got the Bulls.
The Bulls are going to the crib.
Try to tell them you can't depend
unless
on
DeMar go crazy. That's the only hope.
Zach LaVine been balling.
Oh man, Zach ain't finna do shit.
What y'all talking about?
Oh, just put it up. My bad.
Scotty Barnes ain't finna do nothing. Do a thing.
Christopher D. It's because the young guns in the West gotta prove it. Nuggets, Grizzlies, and Kings ain't proven anything yet. Oh, that's from that conversation we were having earlier on why the lower seeds are getting more respect than the higher seeds.
Exactly.
I still got faith the Warriors could make a run.
But look,
the Warriors ain't one of the younger teams they're talking about though.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I get why we don't have a ton of faith in them because I mean, realistically, every part of me wants to root for the Kings to win this series, but when you go matchup to matchup, it don't look great. I don't got. If the only thing we're basing off on discrediting the Warriors in the Kings series is the Warriors doesn't play good away from home, I mean they're just down the road, like they're in the same state. They're not traveling far.
Thing is like that's not how. To me personally, that's not how basketball works. I don't like the matchup thing. You know, a lot of times in basketball, it's more of it's big. It's more to it than that. But I'm never going to pretend like the Warriors aren't the dangerous team. Like, y'all
got a tough pool. Like I'm rooting for the Kings. I want them to shock the world. Are you going to any games?
I'm trying to see if I can get down there for the Monday game, but I'm in Portland, so it's going to be kind of rough for me to get down there.
You got to talk about how crazy that environment is, because I bet it's going to be jumping.
Oh, it's going to be nuts, bro. It's going to be nuts.
When y'all play?
At the One Center set.
No, I'm saying when y'all play Saturday, Sunday?
We play Saturday and Monday, I believe.
Saturday, okay.
Yeah.
What happened to the Arco, man? I remember the Arco.
Shit, it was old, bro. It was old.
So no new teams is gonna make it to the finals this year.
Huh? I don't know what's going to happen.
Who y'all got coming out of the West?
Suns.
Lakers. Lake Show.
Well, I'll put my money on the Kings, so that's what I'm going with.
I think we're gonna be a little surprised how easy the Suns might make the finals. I ain't gonna lie.
I think y'all are super hyping the Suns, but
I don't think it's gonna be easy, bro. I think we got some deficiencies, but I think that scoring punch is gonna get us through. Defensively, we got some questions. At point guard, we got some serious questions, especially at backup point guard. We got some serious questions. So
I like Cameron Payne.
Cameron Payne is a scorer, bro. He gets in there. If he's not making his shots, bro, he's a liability. He don't play good defense, and he's not a good facilitator. He's a shot hunter. He wants to get up shots. So I don't. Yeah, if he's gonna go in there and make shots, sure. But if he not hitting nothing, bro, I'd be like, get his ass out the game, man. Because he be chucking.
Ron, this the thing, bro. Like I said, when we were playing the Suns, it was like, okay, Chris Paul is guarding Harrison Barnes or Keegan Murray. In this first round, who is Chris Paul guarding in that starting lineup?
Right.
Like, who is he guarding? Is he guarding Norman Powell? Is he guarding Marcus Morris? I know he don't call himself guarding Russell Westbrook.
Hey, don't be surprised if the Clippers take them boys out without Paulie.
He gonna guard Russ. He probably gonna guard Russ. Russ on self check, bro.
Hell away from Russ.
Hey,
Russ on self check. Knock it off.
Tegan asked the question. You guys ain't let me answer it. Who I got coming out the West? I got Kawhi. I have Kawhi. To come out the West, what he has to do is beat the Suns in the first round, and I got Kawhi doing that.
Popping them boys, huh?
So it'll be Suns in the first round, and then either the Lakers or Denver next round. I got Kawhi, but damn.
No, it's not happening.
It's a gauntlet for everybody. Everybody.
But hold on, no, because Paul coming back.
Michael Kawhi Jordan, baby.
Y'all got faith in Paul now? Y'all got faith in Paul?
No, I got faith in Kawhi.
I got faith in the claw.
Okay, well, you said Paul coming back. You said this. You said Norman Powell. You said a bunch of bums.
I think that with Norman Powell far from a bum. Norman Powell.
No,
How are we not
Nah,
mentioning
Powell ain't no
Russell
bum. I ain't gonna cap.
How
Powell
we
not a
not
bum.
mentioning
I was talking about Russ already. That's what I'm saying. What
Russ is a
Powell's
bum.
yeah.
Russ got to
Chris
sit his
Paul,
ass down in the
Tyson,
fourth quarter.
No, Russ ain't the
Tyson,
bum.
Russ is a bum, Ron.
Yeah,
No.
stop. You gonna see this series?
Right?
Yes,
Yeah. Well, I was supposed to see last year. I was supposed to
Chris
see
Paul
early in
about to
this
be
year.
tired
I
as
was supposed to
hell
see in
out here.
OKC. I was supposed to see everywhere that nigga been, and he's been a bum
Yeah,
everywhere.
OKC, Russ was going crazy. What are we talking about?
But I'm
And
talking about in the
Houston.
fourth quarter, he
And
gonna
in
sell the
Houston.
game, bro. He gonna take too many bad shots. He gonna make a bad turnover. Russ cannot be trusted in the fourth quarter under pressure situations.
So Russ
gonna
Period.
Russ
he
gonna be on the
played bad in
bench.
Houston?
Russ gonna be on the bench. But look, Chris Paul, only person that
Well,
he
tell him
can
to stop
check, and
saying his
that's
name. If he gonna be on the bench in the fourth, tell him don't bring him up no more.
well,
He gonna be out there in the
he
first,
got to
baby.
bring that energy early. But I'm
Go
saying
ahead.
Chris Paul, the only person that Chris Paul gonna be able to stay in front of is Nicholas Batum.
Facts.
And he
He
gonna
might guard. Oh no, he can't guard.
and
He
he
can't
gonna
guard.
put 10
He
on
can't
him.
guard the Morris twin. He'll put that boy in the post.
You know, but he can only stay in front of Nicholas Batum and Zubac.
I got Big Zubac. Big Zubac about to give Ayton all the problems.
Who?
Big Zubac, baby.
Man, you don't knock it off, Primo. Man, Primo, we usually be here, bro. Now you
Zubac.
talking that bullshit, bro.
Hey,
Man,
Zubac,
listen,
Zubac
man.
cold for real.
You better quit playing with Big Zubac.
Nah, Zubac decent. He decent, but he ain't that.
Big Ayton don't know what to do when they get the pressure get put on him. He get the fold
No,
up. He get
yeah,
the
but we
little
got pressure relievers. You know what I'm saying? We got KD that's gonna take that pressure up off you. We got Book that's gonna take that pressure up off you. And the wings is decent. I like our little defensive wings. I like the boy what's his name? Oki? Oh, how you say it?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like him, man. That boy is decent. You know what I'm saying? He can knock down a shot. He can provide a little rim pressure if you're not gonna play him. So yeah, man. We good over here, man. Suns in 6, man.
Big Z.
We trust.
I'm excited to see the matchup with Kevin Durant.
I just don't think it's gonna be that sweet.
Suns in 6, man. What we talking about? Ain't no light in the beam. We live in a dream over here, man. Suns in 6, bro.
That was fire.
And we praying for y'all in the Western Conference Finals so we can spend some time down there in Scottsdale.
Yeah, come on out, man. The weather's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? We got like this little college little scene over there. We got all kind of stuff for y'all over there, man. Pretty golf courses. You know what I mean? Come on out, man. Come chill.
Hey, I'm going to see something pretty, but it's not the golf course.
Yeah, we got that too. All different flavors. Yeah, we do that.
We're gonna be in Scottsdale and Tempe, but I have fun.
Yeah. I mean, y'all gonna take that L, but yeah, y'all enjoy the weather, man.
Make it out of this. You got to make it past the claw first.
Yeah, for real.
I'm telling you,
because he about to be on Durant's neck.
You're going to be shocked.
Man, y'all knock it off. Hey, but I gotta go, man.
30 on Durant.
I gotta get Ghost. Y'all have a good one.
All right, man. Be smart,
All right, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Well, Tegan, you was trying to say something too about Westbrook.
I just think when the playoff game slows down and you get into these half-court sets, like I think what Tyronn Lue has put Russ into a position where, like in the games, he's trying something new, which I respect with Russ, is basically trying to make him an offensive board fiend, where he is just like he gets a full head of steam sprint, crashing the glass every single time. But I mean, the best version of Russ is on the fast break, and the game slows down in the playoffs, and you're not going to have another primary shot creator with PG for the first half of the series. He's not confirmed to be out for the whole series, is he?
I think there's a chance he can come back later in the series.
He might
be back game 5.
I watched this podcast. He act like he might come back.
And
let me get to this next one.
But Norman Powell could create his own shot too.
You're basically saying fast break or nothing with Russ? Fast break or offensive boards?
I mean, I don't know what the value Russ brings in a half-court set right now in a playoff game.
You guys are ridiculous with this. I'm telling you. The way you guys talk about Russell Westbrook, you guys make it seem like it's a high school player on the court, like he's just a liability through and through. You do know Russ is still an elite attacker of the rim. You do know that Russ is still an elite playmaker and facilitator. You do know Russ is top 15 in the league in assists. So Russ gets the job, and he doesn't get his assists.
He's still good.
He might average 1 assist on a fast break per game, maybe 2. Russ in the half court still gets the job done. He just doesn't do it in a traditional manner that you guys like to see.
I don't think he's elite at attacking the rim like he used to.
He may turn the ball over, but it's still other players that turn the ball over. It's just not in the same manner.
I think if the Lakers had shooters with Russ, Brown, and AD, it would have worked out. That's just my opinion.
No doubt. And I mean, the Clippers have shooters
going
through. Eric Gordon, Nicholas Batum,
Robert Covington.
Obviously, Paul George is a shooter. Norman Powell banged that 3. Have I not mentioned Kawhi yet? Everybody, for the most part, that they put on the floor will bang that 3-point shot. So Russ is he damn near in point guard paradise.
Mm-hmm. And then they blame Russ for the losses that the Clippers took, but not saying that Paul George has been injured. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, and here's also the thing, too. Y'all can say Russ is a fraud. Y'all can say Russ is a bum. Y'all can say Russ is out of control. Y'all can say he's overrated. Y'all can say he ain't did shit his whole career. But I know somebody that has. And his name is Kawhi Leonard. And they have a championship coach with Tyronn Lue. Those are the guys that I'm counting on to get the job done. Russ is just going to be there to help them. And if you guys don't think that Russ is an addition to them, then you're just hating at this point. That's all it simply is. Because I guarantee you, if James Harden was on that team, wouldn't nobody be saying, "Oh man, James Harden's a bum. James Harden's not going to help them. James Harden's this, that, and the third." He's been a playoff choker.
Ron, relax. I know how you feel about Russ and everything. Don't get too upset, bro. You're gonna sweat that pretty little suit out.
Russ is
he got the setup back there. Champagne wishes.
Let me see real quick. TMF Willie took it back to the East Coast. Cavs in 7. Also, shout out to Self-Made Couture. Y'all go get yourself fitted. P.S. Mars need to shave that soap patch. That's crazy, bro. For sure. Shout out Self-Made Couture.
Yes, sir, TMF Willie. Hey man, y'all hit us up
Cavs
on the gram,
7,
man.
baby.
Let us put you in one of these custom-made tuxedos that we got in here. We'll take care of y'all. Shirts, overcoats, suits, tuxedos, the whole 9 yards. And we make women's suits too. If you know a youngster, they go into prom or anything like that, let us hook them up. We're gonna have them looking right. We're gonna make them the pride of good.
That's
I'm gonna buy a suit when I come out there.
For sure. Salute PC gang. Don't listen to the lies. Salute Desto. I wonder what he's talking about.
Desto, don't he owe ticket or something?
I don't know nothing about that.
Was that Desto? It's probably over.
Kent Linscomb Jr. Why has Crunch been a no-show lately? I don't know. Get on Crunch page, hit him up on TikTok, ask him. It's like, Crunch, where you at? He might be ducking the smoke.
I know Dub ducking today.
Dub is definitely ducking. I don't care. No, hey, y'all spam Dub on whatever y'all can spam him on and let him know that
I've been looking for Dub all day, man.
Dub gonna be on Gridiron later. He don't want to talk basketball anymore. He just talking football.
I'm talking basketball on Gridiron.
Dodging and weaving.
Super chat.
Hey, y'all don't know if y'all seen Lo finally made an appearance yesterday. You know, after that
yesterday's episode was crazy.
What situation?
Oh, I mean, it wasn't a real situation. There was just some allegations that you could see the basketball reference in his glasses when we did the episode. So you never know. I don't know nothing about that.
If I use the internet, I'll be up here sounding like Einstein. This is natural.
Yeah. Also, the episode last night after the Lakers game, that episode was fire too.
Yeah, I watched that though. I was on there. That was a good episode. He's so funny. He's sarcastic when he See, he know how to get you. Dude was right the whole time, and then he hit him with one move and switched him to the other side. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. You gotta be careful with them cats.
Yeah.
Mike Will. Clippers have no chance against the Suns. Stop it. I think he's talking to you, Ron.
The Clippers have a better team than the Suns. With or without Paul George. With Paul George, they have a better team. Without Paul George, they just play a better brand of basketball, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a good series, man. Y'all make sure y'all tap in. Y'all just make sure y'all tap in. Don't miss a game, bro. It's gonna be a good one.
Listen, the Suns better win because KD. You better win this year. Don't he watch this? You better win it this year. I'm tired of you.
Tell the bum with no avatar, Goldbrook making finals. We must be talking to Tyson. The bum with no avatar.
Yeah, he was talking.
He's talking to Tyson. Damn, a little too late. My bad. Sorry, I couldn't get to that super chat in time. Hey, but I'm getting to the super chats though. You know, we all can't be W hosts. Hit 44. KD finna fold again in the first round. Ticket ready. Hey, that's more likely. That's more likely than anything. Is it possible though? Hold on, because I heard one. Is that not possible? Okay. What about you, Ticket? You don't think KD can fold like he did last year? I'm talking about like laundry, fresh out the dry cleaner.
Same type of defense up on you.
I take that net situation as a grain of salt, man. It's a toxic situation, and not to mention the Celtics were a much better defensive team than the Clippers, like much better. And I think Kawhi's defense is a little overrated right now in 2020.
Who on that Celtics team is a better individual defender
right.
than Kawhi Leonard?
Even if he's overrated right now.
In 2023?
Yeah. I'm talking about last year's Celtics team, and I understand it was a team effort, so don't take it. I'm just curious to know. Do you think that there was an individual defender on that Celtics team that's a better defender than Kawhi Leonard is right now?
I would want to watch a couple more games. I'm not making this argument, but you can make an argument that JT is an elite defender, especially in that series. He was an elite defender comparative to what Kawhi has shown in previous, like these recent memories.
I was going to say Marcus Smart.
Or Jaylen Brown. Like, it was a team thing. Jaylen Brown, JT, Marcus Smart, and then I don't remember. I don't think Robert Williams was playing at the time.
Al Horford. I will say this thinking like I said a second ago. I understand it was a team effort. I think the Clippers have some good defenders as well. If you I know Nicholas Batum is a little older, but he's still a good defender. Robert Covington is a solid defender.
Sure.
Terrence Mann is a solid defender. When Paul George gets back, he's a solid defender. Russell Westbrook is a solid defender.
No.
Above average defender.
Westbrook's not a solid defender though.
You saying he's below average?
Yeah, he's below average.
Okay, that's fine. I could give you that one. That's cool, whatever. But all the other names I named, though.
You put Westbrook on a crew that
he'll hustle though.
You know Russ gonna be in the passing lanes, so it's like Russ can afford to gamble with these guys. Not saying that he should be gambling or anything like that, but when you playing with guys like that, his steals are gonna go up because the other guys are gonna force the person that they're guarding into tougher situations. So people are gonna throw more sporadic passes or cross court passes or things like that Russ is gonna be able to jump on. He's gonna be able to gamble a little more with those guys.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that.
And Zubac a solid defender as well.
And I still don't think nobody on Boston was a better individual perimeter defender than Kawhi is.
I don't either. And I really like Marcus Smart. I think Marcus Smart deserved that DPOY last year. I think Marcus Smart is a hell of a defender, but he's not Kawhi.
Yeah, because even the drop off from Kawhi being who he was probably one of the top 5 on-ball defenders all time in his peak.
Mike Will, the Claw versus Booker, Ayton, KD, and CP. Clippers have no chance.
See that's what you guys is failing to realize though. You guys are just looking at the big names, and that's always what happens. It's always what happens. You guys just look at the superstars, and you just don't think the Clippers have nobody else after Kawhi, like how we've already mentioned. Norman Powell, Eric Gordon. Like, don't act like Eric Gordon won't go for 23 games in this series. Don't act like Norman Powell won't go for a 30-piece on any given night. Don't act like Terrence Mann won't come in and fire shit up. Don't act like Bones Highland won't come in and go crazy.
Ooh, forgot about Bones.
Can come and hit 6 threes on any given night. Like,
Marcus
come on.
Morris,
You guys are acting like it's just a collection of bums over there. But watch, you're going to see Marcus Morris, 20 on any given night. So watch. I'm going to see.
Post game, too. All them boys was 20-point scorers on other teams, for real.
Hey, Tyson Thomas talking about Eric Gordon, really? Watch,
Eric Gordon.
That's my man.
Shit, I would get my Eric Gordon back right now, but I don't got time to be getting disrespected in the chat section, so I'm gonna leave that alone.
He was so raw in college.
Oh, no doubt. High school was crazy. Brandon from the block. Ron's theme music should be so fresh, so clean by Outkast. My dog fresh today. Tegan, Lakers in 7.
That's right, baby.
I'll talk to you in the PC Gridiron group chat, man.
I just want Brian to get one more.
Are you tired of the Lakers, Tegan?
I'm tired of talking about the Lakers, man. I'm tired of talking about a 7 seed like they all that.
Time to talk about the greatest. I wonder how they felt about Jordan. They tired of articles of Mike. Is it another commercial?
And the funny thing is I got LeBron as my GOAT, but I'm tired of hearing about the Lakers, man. It's not a LeBron thing; it's a Lakers thing. I'm a Rockets fan. It's embedded in my blood to hate the Lakers.
We could talk about the Rockets, man, but they just
give them a couple. Give them a couple seasons. Give them a couple seasons.
Yeah, we got a couple seasons.
I'm not worried.
Hey, y'all
get Nick Nurse.
Get you big.
Y'all should get Nick Nurse, but please don't sign James Harden back over there and ruin Jalen Green.
No, don't do that.
Y'all to ruin Jalen.
No, we're gonna sign Jaylen Brown.
Now you talking?
That's what we need.
No, now you in the playoffs.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that was the last super chat. Is anybody got any final words? Tegan, got any final words?
I didn't get this takeoff earlier. I think that is something we could probably talk about next episode. Point totals should be the scoring champs and assist champs. The total points, not averages.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a narrative that Jalen Rose brought up, and it was for the MVP case. But realistically, in every other sport, we go by point totals and not averages. It should be by point totals.
That's easy, bro. That shouldn't even be a debate anymore. They're talking about, well, some people miss games. Well, if you miss games, you don't score. That's your problem. I think it should definitely be total points.
And y'all know who would be the scoring champ if we went by that?
Who?
Giannis?
Jason Tatum.
Oh, JT.
I got a narrative to push.
JT.
Oh, that's my boy. You ain't got to push it on me.
I got
like
crucified
JT
in the group chat.
Luka. Hot take. I like JT over Luka. Hot take.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah.
I got crucified in the group chat for saying that I think JT's potential is top 20 all time. Potential. If he wins a couple rings at finals,
so he could be like a top 20 player all time?
All time, yeah. If we can have Kawhi
win like at least 3.
I think if he wins 2 rings, 2 finals MVPs, and maybe
he gonna need a couple MVP. He gonna need an MVP or something though.
How old is that?
League MVP. He a baby.
He's 24, right?
Yeah. I mean, just think about what he's done in his career in 6 seasons. He's made 4. He's about to make 3 All-NBA, 6 All-Stars, 3 Western Conference Finals, 1 Finals in just 6 years. I mean,
I agree. Jason Tatum been impressive to me as the youngest player out of them. That's who I've been impressed with.
He's the only Celtic to ever score over 30 points in a season.
And he started to learn. I remember he used to not pass the ball. He started learning how to get rid of the ball and being a better playmaker. Because him and Jaylen Brown was not passing the ball on the break. They'll just run to the hole.
That was when last year when Marcus Smart got on the podium and said that. I told everybody around me that's going to change the whole season. The Celtics are winning the championship, but I mean they didn't win it, you know. And let me tell y'all something else about Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is nice, but 3 seasons, Keegan Murray is going to be better than Jason Tatum.
All right, y'all.
It's time to go.
Hey, hold on, Ron. Let me shout out our GOAT member, Comatose. Appreciate you, Comatose. If you want to be a GOAT member, it's nothing but a click away. Y'all know what to do. Go ahead, though, Ron.
We all done after that.
Hey, hold on. That's not crazy.
Bob, we don't
I'm
have
about to say this. The beam is a little too bright right now.
All right, see, all right, y'all gonna learn to listen to me.
That beam got something at the end of it.
The butter done clearly slipped off your biscuit. let's get on.
Yeah, well. Anyways, y'all, thanks. You know, anybody else? You got any final words, Ron, or what?
In the words of my partner, drink more water.
Drink more water. Man, y'all make sure y'all crack a book today. Get y'all at least 30 minutes in. Read something. You know, drink water.
Hey, check it out, fam. I'm cracking something, but it ain't a book.
All right. Well, anyways, man, y'all get a book, even if it's an audio book, man. Do something. Drink water and do not drink and drive, y'all.
Yes, sir.